ready. Right, so let's get started. I just left this open because I was just having a play, but I just wanted to quickly say, if you're doing sketchbooks, it's really cool to be able to work over 2 pages. A lot of people just work on 1 page, but I say go for 2. Just a quick reminder. Okay, also, mug of tea with a Christmas tree on it, nicely provided by Jack. Right, has everyone got their paper in front of them? I want you to grab, first of all, just grab a dry or a wet, whatever you like. In fact, I'm going to have both. Grab both and drag them down the page in front of you. Just like that. I've got like a cream and a dark one. Okay, really fast. Fill up that page. Making those marks. Okay, loosening up. Throw it behind you. Okay, now two mediums, 2 medias in each hand, 1 media in each hand, and I want you to do circles. Ready? So you can do this with wet or dry. I'm using dry. And I want you to circle the whole page. Really feel it in your shoulders. Really circle it out. Really loosen up. And then you can move your wrists as well. Bigger circles. Really nice. So you're moving your shoulders, you're moving your wrists. You're really loosening up. Colouring all over the page. Okay, now we're going to do zigzags. Just a quick. Right, shall I do it with two colours? Pink and yellow. I'm going to use bigger brushes. And we're just going to zigzag like that. Just keep zigzagging. Again, feel it in your shoulders. Zig and zag. Oh, goodness. And then, next one. We're going to do, technical word, blobbing. Blob, 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 blob. Really, really push your media into the paper. Cover the paper. Feel it in your arm. Really get out the weak stresses on your page. Oh, just have a bit of a spill. Cover that paper. And throw it behind you. Okay. Now, we're going to start with drawing 6 roses in 1 minute. Okay, so grab whatever colour media you like. I'm going to have a light pink and I'm going to have a red. Okay, but you can do it in any colours you like. And we're going to look at the roses behind me for reference. Okay, I'm going to do 6 in 1 minute. So I'm not worried about it. I'm just briefly, I can hardly see them. They're really far away. I'm just going to scribble 1 rose, look like that. And then it's got like a swirl there. 2. Go as fast as you can. Oh, I've done that one by mistake in red. That's good. Rose, 1, 2, 3. Swirl on top. 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Can't really see the flowers unless tech support. Sarah says something. Oh, is that better? Okay. I'll just leave tech support if he needs it. Perfect. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to draw stems from our flowers. So wherever you've done it on the page, get a nice, either a dry or a wet marker and draw stems to the flowers. Okay, first lot done. Next, we're going to move on to leaves. Okay, leaves come in all shapes and sizes. Get 2 greens. If you don't have greens, improvise, use blues, use different colours. I'll use blue as well. And I want you to visualise leaf shapes, but I want you to use your arms and wrists to do it. So I'm thinking they're like that. So I'm just drawing leaf shapes like that. all over the page, really stretching, using my arms and my wrists. Really stretching. And put that one behind you. Okay, now we're going to do 20 berries in 1 minute. Are you ready? I'm going to have a red and I'm going to have a darker colour for the like blob bit. Technical term, the bit where it attaches to the branch. Okay, on your marks. Did I say 20? 20 berries in 1 minute. On your marks, get set, go. You can do it in paint or you can do it in dry media. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sizes. Small ones, big ones. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. Swap media if you like. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20. Have I really done 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 20. Everyone done it. Now, quickly, add your blobs. What are they called? Don't know. Someone clever in the comments will know what the blobs are called. The bit that they attach. Got it? Okay, so you've got your berries. Now, get wet or dry media and you want to connect all your berries on your page with a line. Can you see the stick that's connecting all these berries here? That's what we're imitating, okay? So I'm going to bring my stick up like this. I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm going to have branches coming off. Like that. Okay, so you want them all attached. No berry left behind. All berries attached. Doesn't matter if it looks absolutely bonkers. We're enjoying the process. Okay, you should have something like that. Really, really fast pace. Now we're going to look at the pine needles. Can you see the pine from the Christmas tree here? Okay, so it's really, really fine. So we're going to cover the page in really, really fine marks. But I want you to get a light and a dark. So I'm going to have a super dark green and I'm going to have a light green. Okay, so a dark and a light in any colour. So what you want to do is you want to go all over the page, like really quickly, all over the page, these marks, just like the Christmas tree. Pine needles, fill the page with pine needles. Really fill it. All different directions, doesn't matter. Just fill that page with pine needles. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our dark and we're going to edge each pine needle with a shadow to make it stand out. Can you see how that works? If it's got a shadow, it looks really, really cool. So find those marks you've done, trace them, roll your media. I'm rolling my hand, finding new lines. Okay, good. Put that one behind you. Now, we're going to try and do 10 jugs. You can do your own jug or you can do the one I've got here. I'm going to move the pine cone so you can see the shape of it. So I'll quickly draw you. So I'm just going to quickly just draw a handle. It's got a curly top like that, and then it goes like that, and then it kicks out. Okay. It's got a bit of a lip on it. I'm going to do that 10 times. Did I say 10 times? 10 times in a minute. Okay. You can do any other vase you like, but we're just going to try and loosen up. Okay. On your marks, get set, go. I've got no one to blame but myself for making these challenges. 1, 2. Just concentrate on the shapes and the feeling of it in your arm. I'm changing colour because I don't have any space left anymore. And faster. And just keep looking at the vase that you've got in mind, or my vase, it's up to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. 8. Oh. I don't think I'm going to do this in a minute. 9, 10. Or did I do 9? I'll do a little one for luck. Okay, you've got loads of vases. Put that behind you. Now, what we're going to do is really, really quickly, I'm going to time it. In 1 minute, 1 minute, we're going to draw either the vase of flowers you've got at home or the vase of flowers I've got here. And we're just going to get some colours down and try and find some shapes in it, okay? And I'm going to say, on your marks, are you ready? Get a nice dry or wet media. On your marks, get set, get. Doesn't matter, you can't go wrong with art. Just enjoy it. The best thing is, it'll usually, if it ends up different to what you're expecting, it's usually just fun. Right, funny. Oh goodness, I'm talking. Roses. Sticking those roses in there, get a bit of colour. Maybe brush on a bit of paint. That was the roses. Oh goodness, now the red paint. Gonna get those berries in. I don't know how many there are. No one will know. No one will ever find out. You are safe to make up whatever you like in art. Gonna mix a quick, oh goodness, mix the brown. Don't really know how to do that. Keep forgetting. Okay, and I'm just gonna pull it through the berries quickly. And then I'm gonna get my green and I'm gonna add that Christmas tree branch pines that we learned to do. Oh, and stop, we've done a minute. Okay. I can still see naughty people working. Patricia, put it down. Hannah, put it down. Good girl, Maureen. Very good. Sandy, good. Right, we're going to do it again. But now we're going to do it in 2 minutes. Okay, so we've got a bit longer. On your marks, get set, go. Jack bought this vase in a charity shop today and I was really impressed. I think it's really cool. It's like really frilly, but it's really hard to draw.
I'm very impressed too, Jack. Good job.
This is a lovely bit of Christmas tree foliage coming in. I mean, all of this will probably be, these will be different each time you do it. That's the joy of it. Big pinks, stick a pink there. Oh, I haven't done any yellow on the vase. Oh, it's got a strange ham colour. There we go. Just add a bit over that. No one will ever know. It's the vibe. Yes, let me check the time. And then it's good to add like light bits and dark bits. I'll do that in a minute. Remember, pull those sticks through your berries. If you've got berries, that is. And go over, add detail. Red. I need more red. If I'm doing pink, I always need red. Pink and red are just so nice, aren't they? Right, little blobs, berries, blob, 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 blob. It's okay if you go over media. Make a mess. I absolutely love a mess. I think it's underrated. Then I might bring some shoots out here. And it's all mixing up colour. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. I think we're about to stop now. Okay. Put that one behind you. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the different side of it. I'm going to bring out this really green bit. Okay. And we're going to do that in another 2 minutes. Okay. So we've got a different version view of the vase. We'll just there. Different view of the vase, really hard. 2 minutes. On your marks, till 20 past. Go. The great thing about like trying things out and playing and just letting loose and making mistakes and enjoying yourself like this is you can use them for cards, you can work into them later. It's just really good to have a stock of work that you've played on because you'll come back to it. Oh, that's a bit strange. Pink again. I don't know why I did that. You can come back to it. It's so cool to have a stock of your own work to cut up and collage and look back at. And the stuff that you don't think is good now, you will think is good. Probably tomorrow. Getting in those purple freesias that smell absolutely divine. Bee picked the flowers for tonight from M&S this morning. I said she could pick any. This is what she went with. Very pleased. Very proud. I was worried we were going to have the reindeer plant pot with the bulbs in it that hadn't flowered yet, and that would have been quite an interesting class because there was no flowers. Getting those nice pine needles in, and there's these beautiful stripes. Look at those beautiful stripes that they've got coming up through the flowers. It's all right if you go over them. You've got to just break the rules. If you're using wet media, go in with dry. If you're using dry, go in with wet and stop. Whoop. Okay. Put that to one side. Now, we are going to split our page into 4. So, straight down the middle, straight down the middle, the other way. I'm going to have a sip of tea while everyone does that. Okay, and now we're going to, in 4 minutes, we're going to do 4. You can either spend 3 minutes on 1 and 1 minute on 3, but this page has to have 4 vases with the flowers in 4 minutes. Are you ready? On your marks, get set, go. Panicked myself then. Right, oh goodness. Oh no, I've made the jar really big. I'll draw some flowers on it. You can often distract a wealth of mistakes with good colour work. So don't worry about it. My main thing of the night is don't worry about it. Look, I completely just used this as a vase. I'm going to bring the plant like down like it's sort of flopping over. Don't worry about it. Enjoy it. Ignore all those things that you were taught in school. It's about mark making and just expressing yourself and enjoying it. Connect your berries. Add a bit of colour. There's one. Oh, that is 1 minute gone. Okay. I'm going to change colours and medium for the next one. Oh, heck. Right. Just going to quickly add a few vases in. One like that. I actually can't wait to see what you've all done. It sounds incredibly normal to draw flowers, incredibly sort of traditional. But I can't find anything that beats it at the moment. I find it so cheerful. It's so good to give them to people. Don't ever be afraid to give your artwork to people. Even if you're worried about what it looks like, people are always so pleased to receive it. Okay, well, I'm gonna make those freesias pink there, but throw a few in there, doing 3 at a time now because I've only got 2 minutes left. Add my berries. Really overberry it. Gonna have super berries. Maybe I'll have big ones on this one. Remember, keep feeling it in your arms. Really enjoy it. I mean, those berries aren't even in the pot. Who cares, eh? Bit of green. Get those green shoots in. Try and stay within the box, but you know, I won't take points away. I won't take many points away. What else? Ooh, just looking at it on the thing. Let's add the vase in. Oh, we've got 1 minute left. Oh gosh, red. Oh, just use the end of the tube loads of times. Green. Eye needles are the best. They're just loads of great lines. And I find when you have a pale vase like this, and then you can go in with a few darker lines, you can really bring it out. You can draw the pattern on it. Oh, we need to stop. And stop. 4 vases, 4 minutes. Well done, everyone. That's so good. And then you can write 4 vases, 4 minutes under it if you like. Okay. Now I'm going to do I rarely do teaching as in you have to do it this way, but we're going to go through each part of the pot and I'm going to teach you ways to do the flowers. Okay. So you don't have to do it like this, but it might be helpful. Okay. So we're going to start with the roses. So wet or dry media, wet preferably. Just get a nice big pink blob on the page. Nice big pink blob. I'm just looking at the shape of it, sort of like that. I've dipped it in a bit of white actually as well. Then I'm doing a big pink blob there. And there. Okay. Now, load your brush up with white or go in with a lighter colour if you're doing dry media. And get that lighter colour on top. So we're starting with the dark and we're bringing in light over the top. Okay, so this is just a quick, because when you're out and about and you're painting, or if you're just if you've got a really busy life and you just need to do some art and express how you're feeling, it's really good to be able to just whack out a few roses if you need to. Now we've got the dark, and then we've got the light, and then you can either use dry or wet media. Make your hand really floppy. Can you make your hand floppy? Just make it really floppy. Really loosely drag your brush or your, it's really loose, or your dry media over the top like that. Just really loosely. Doesn't matter if you miss. Just really loosely, and it doesn't matter what colour, it's just as long as it's darker. I go for a second dip there. Okay. And then, so I'm really happy with those. Then I sometimes bolden it, so you can add, I'll show you on this one, you can add in more pink on top to bring it up the side like that, really make it bold. Or you can add a bit of red, and that often really helps. That solid block of red, can you see that? Okay, and now we're going to learn, well, we're going to sort of try and learn the stalks from it. So you can't see the stalks, but I'm going to use a really light colour, and I'm going to come from the bottom like that. So I've got a nice light colour. So all add your light colours. And then I'm going to get a darker green, and I'm going to go down each stem as well. So just using, dark and light. And then, because I've already slightly taught pine needles, you can add a few pine needles if you want in the background. Blues, dark colours. Anything can be changed in painting. Nothing's the end of the world. Try it out. Okay, so that was roses. Feels quite prescriptive, me doing such paintingly information. Let me have a sip of tea. You've accidentally signed on to the higher ability course. Really joking, you haven't really. There is no higher ability with me. You're all bottom set, and you'll all stay bottom set. That's because I have always been in bottom set. Okay, we're going to do berries next. I want you to find like really juicy colours in your collection, whether it be wet or dry media. I want those really big, juicy. Juicy is the name of the game. Get those juicy colours down. I've got red. I've got pink. I've got yellow. I'm just using my brush. I'm using it in all my warm colours. I'm always double dipping. I'm the sort of person you wouldn't want to share a palette with. Happens a lot. Get those, ooh, didn't know that was going to happen. Get those different colours. Get as many berries as you can on the page, really luscious colours. I mean, you could even do it with blue or purple or anything, because there's blueberries. Do it with green. Maybe the berries aren't ripe yet. And just keep going. I think using a few tones within one brush. So if you're like dipping it in yellow, then dipping it in pink, and you're just using the same brush, or you're using a few colors to make one really intense tone. For instance, this yellow mark here that I've done with dry media. And then if you go over the top with another color, it just gives it that like depth that you wouldn't necessarily get if you just did one flat color. So you can double layer things. That's often the secret of many artists. I've noticed. Now, what I want you to do is get a lighter colour. Everyone get their lighter colour. I'm going to do our juicy glint. You know that twinkle, that juicy glint of a berry? And I'm just going to whack it on. Can you see there's loads of juicy glints all over these? Just whacking that juicy glint on. Not worried about it. Get a little bit light on. No one's going to phone the police if you get your juicy glint in the wrong place. Okay, they're all popping now. And then you can get really white bit if you like, and highlight. You can even go in a bit more. Okay, so these are really juicy now. Now what I do is I get a dark colour, and I'm just going to use a navy. If anyone's interested, it is Persian blue. And I'm just going to use my floppy wrist again. Floppy wrist. Bring it round. Bring it round. Just edge it. So the sun, let's pretend the sun's coming from this way. The light source coming from this way. And we're just making a nice shadow around the berries like that. It doesn't need to be all the berries. You can use the fact that the berries are still wet and sort of, you see I've just sort of rubbed in the blue. Don't worry, keep it loose. And then we get to do the really exciting part, which is the bit that I don't know the name of, that is the blob. Now, I've realised that it's really nice to do super loose work, but then really intense detail. So if it goes, so I've got a very much a small brush out, so you can get a smaller brush or a smaller pen, and just on the berry, you do this tiny little star where it attaches, and that usually will make it look detailed, and people love it because they look at the detail. Your eyes only need so much detail. So I'm doing those little stars over all of the berries. Don't worry if you miss a berry. I won't tell anyone. Unless your name is Sarah and you're my sister, and then I'll tell you off. I don't actually know if she's here tonight, but she's the person I tell off. You got to have someone to tell off, right? As well as the cat. Okay, so got the star berries. Now, with your other media, so if you've been doing wet, do dry. If you're doing dry, do wet. I want you to bring and connect your berries again, like we've done before, with nice loose lines, rolling your wrist, attaching it. So just draw one stem and attach it like that. And like I always say, I'm really proud of people coming tonight, because it is hard to turn up to class. I very much know that, even though you might want to really do it, it's still hard to make time. And just thank you for trusting me, because I know it's quite a vulnerable thing to do, trust someone with your art. Okay, so got the berries there. If you want, just looking at it on camera, you can get a darker colour or a different colour and just add in a bit to your branch. So you can have a slight, I've got a brown and a blue next to each other, and that'll give it real depth. Okay, are you ready? Throw that one behind you. Now, we're going to do the vase. Let's get it at the easiest angle. Let's be nice. I'm being nice tonight. I'd normally put it at the hard angle. So first of all, well, there's many ways to do it. I'd probably, knowing me, I would get a lightish colour. So like a yellow or a white or a beige. And I just blob it down. Just make a simple shape. Blob it down. Just like that. Get that big swirly handle in. Or whatever you've got at home. Then I'd probably find another lighter colour and add that in on top. Nothing's ever one colour. And now you're probably getting pro at this, but we're going to bring in, with our smaller brush, the darker colour. So it's just, it doesn't matter how many whatever's it's got at the top. Just as long as it's got some scallops. And just loosely with your brush. You never hold the bar of soap too hard, that's what they say. And then just, your brush is probably quite dry after doing that, and just like, or you can do it with your dry media, you can do it on the side. Just add a little bit of shading down at the bottom here to give it that grounding feeling. So you can do that there. Then you can bring a bit of that across the top like that. And you could bring that in a bit there if you wanted. So you sort of got a bit of shading, nothing too tight or too worrying. That's the vase. Okay, now, next we're going to do pine cones. And you're probably going to be a pro at this. Can you see the pine cone? Let's see if I can put it on something. Above my desk, it's like, if I pull one thing, I think we'll lose it all. So let me just put it on this. There you go, that's better. Okay, so you can barely see it, so that's actually really perfect for this. So top of the class would probably know, let's get a dark colour. I'm going to do it with a dry media this time. I'm going to lay that dry media down. I'm going to get it nice and dark. Might do a second one as well, why not? Going to try and get a brown, so I'm layering red on top of blue, really getting it nice and dark, looking at the vague shape of the pine cone, but I'm not worrying. Not worrying. That's my rough beginnings. And then with my wet media, but you can with dry as well, I can show you with dry on top of that. I'm going to just bring in those lovely piney bits. I don't know what they're called. Now I bet someone will in the comments. Please know. And I'm just using the highlighted. They're like semicircles at the bottom. And they get bigger and bigger like that. And on this one, oh, I could do my wet media on top. Semicircle. The piney bright bits get bigger nearer the bottom. Okay, so as you can see, mine are what I like to call hints of a pine cone. Not actually pine, not too piney, just a bit coney. Anyway, 2 pine cones on a Thursday night, that one can be called. Okay. Now, we've done the pine cone, we've done the vase, we've done the pink flowers, we've done the berries, we've done the pine needles, and now let's do the leaves. So let me bring you to the leaves. Okay, I'm going to go a bit wild with the leaves. I'm going to get my big brush, and I'm just going to bring out my brush like this. And I'm not worried, I'm just enjoying it. I'm just doing sort of big rainbow half movements, half circles. I'm just looking at them vaguely, and I'm just making loads of curls. Really not worrying. I always forget what I'm doing halfway through doing it, so that's why my paintings are always mad. So if you do that, then that's always a bonus. And then I'd get in your light colours, and I'm starting to bring in these like big, nice, juicy shapes. So I'm not worrying exactly where they are. I'm just adding them in. Nice, big, juicy, light shapes. Just like that. And then I might mix a bit of a darker tone, get that dark blue in. And then as you can see, the dark is right underneath. So I might just sort of put that under there like that, you see. Again, not worrying. Just get a bit of dark under it. And then there's like a, what's it called? A stem going through. I should have worked on my flower language before this. Just going to drag a stem through, just really loosely with my wrist. And then I could get a little brush or some dry media, and I could do the tiny details. So remember, you can go wild and loose and free. I mean, you can do whatever you like. You can't go wrong, but go wild and loose and free, and then do that tiny bit of detail. And that often works really well. So I'm just outlining a few leaves. Like that. There's always loads of leaves shoved at the bottom of the vase because I always forget to de-leaf it. So put more down there. And then I might bring in a bit of media and have a bit of a scribble round here. Because you're doing art, you can do whatever you like. No rules, no tax rules, nothing. It's brilliant. Okay, so now we've done leaves. You have to let me know in the comments what's your favourite: berries, roses, leaves, or pine needles. Should we try the should we just quickly try these ones, the freesias that smell amazing? So they are like ovally shapes. Let's whack them in, get those ovals done, get those ovals in, get those ovals done. I mean, you've pretty much got your painting license now. Get those stems in. Add in some juicy leaves if you like. And then get those shadows on your stems. And then I'm going to have a little bit of another go at purple mixing. You can use whatever colour. It doesn't need to be exact, doesn't need to be purple. No one will know it. But I'm just using a darker colour, no, a mid-tone, then going in with a darker colour like that. And it's just so satisfying on the eye when you do that. It's a real quick way of getting that instant success. I'm just really messing around with different colours, dark shades at the edge. mid-tones, bit of pink, bit more pink, like that. And then let's just add a bit of, they've all got a bit of light in them, don't they? So it's really just bringing in those light bits as well at the bottom. I think if you love flowers, it'll come out in what you do as well. So please never be mean to yourself about your work. Always say nice things, because it's so easy to be mean about your own work. That it doesn't look like the flowers, or it doesn't look like this, but how did it feel? It felt so good to do. It's not always about outcome. Okay, now we are ready to do the vase fully. I'm going to do it twice. You can do it as many times as you like. You might have your own flowers. You might be doing my flowers. So we're going to do the still life setup as it is with everything we've learned. Okay, so let's go. Gonna get a nice, I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing, but you don't have to do that. You can do your own. Get that rolling. Ooh, that is a big handle, Emily. Crikey. I was clearly feeling crazy then. Let's get a bit of my pinks in there, like we did. Ooh. Get those roses in. And then go around them with the darker colour. Bring in a bit of a solid colour down the side of my roses. And get that swirl. Nice big swirl. While I've got a dark colour, I'm going to bring it round the vase like this. I don't think people often think that it's the time you take with art that makes it good. I think it's the feeling you put into it and the looking that actually makes it good. And sometimes you just need that hit, that really big hit of like painting a big gorgeous flower. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. And these stems are just like absolutely bursting out of the vase. They're coming out in all directions. It's so lovely. And they say it's all about the really, really savoring the little things, like buying yourself the flowers and looking at every shape in the park and seeing what's coming out in new life. So got different flowers coming through there. I'm going to go in with a bit of dry media at the back. I'm going to get my pine needles in. Got nice, they're on sort of sticky things as well. I'm going to go in with the lighter colour as well. Scribble that there. Why not? No one will know. I'm going to start outlining some leaves. Doesn't matter if you draw over your paint. Bring some stems up like that. Oh, now it's time for the berries. I'm going to use some dry media. I'm going to go really over the top on these gorgeous berries. I'm going to really stuff the stem with them. Really get as many as you can on. We mustn't forget our pine cone. Do let me know if I forget the pine cone. Be classic, Emily. I'm bringing a bit of dry media onto my roses as well. Can't help myself. And then I'm going to join up my berries. Bing, 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 bing. By the way, I've noticed that the best way to get children to do art is making noises. Like if I'm with B, I'll go bing, 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 and she'll copy me instead of saying, can you dot or dot, 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 dot. But if you make the noise, it seems to really, really help. I'm going to get my dry media. I'm going to do a bit of a swirl up there for a rose. Why not? Treat myself. And what else are we missing? Might go in with, oh, we're missing the freesias. Get that pink on the go. Had a funny old relationship with purple. I wasn't keen on it for a long time. But when I went to Scotland this summer, the Scottish hedgerow really knows how to use purple. And they just have the best purples and yellows. So good. Now my pot is a bit drier. I'm going to get a huge brush. Well, not huge. Bigger. And I'm just going to try and bring out its lighter tone. Might have to use yellow. Bring out the vase's tummy. Didn't mean to make a grey vase. There you go. And let's just add in a bit of, let's colour these in a bit, the leaves, the shapes you've drawn. And you can just drag your wrist around some leaves as well, like this, really loosely. Doesn't matter, can't get it wrong. Now, the pine cone. Let's go dry media. Here he is, the pine cone himself. Gonna use my dark and my light, dark blue, and then I've got like a pinky mauve over the top. Roughly pine cone shaped. Like that. And then I'm gonna just blob the, mix in a bit of yellow, I think. Bring in its light tones. Tiny at the top, and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger. Ooh. And then for extra points, you can trace the dark line with the light line with the dark line like that. And there we have a pine cone, sort of. And then if you're feeling fancy, you can put in your table just as a line at the background. Just like that. I'm bringing out the pot a bit at the front. And like that. Now, I want you to have a go at another one. This is the last one. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a real close-up. So we're forgetting the vase now. This is the last one. We're just going to look. So bring your flowers closer to you or look at my flowers. And you're really going to look at what we're doing. I'm going to have a huge pink flower here. I'm going to have loads of red berries. I'm going to have the purples and the greens coming in. But remember, no one will tell you off if you don't do them in the place that they actually are. I'm going to start with big stripes, really loosely. Sticks and stems. Now I'm bringing in these lovely buds. Where are they? How do I point to them on camera? These ones. Just getting in a load of these. I'm just sort of vaguely looking and copying how they feel and what they look like. And then I might do a big ooh through it like that. Then let's get a big rose down. Get that big rose in. Might get a bit of red on it. And then while we're here, it's berry time. Remember how we did the berries? Strong, bold colours. Nice and strong. And then, oh, let's go in with the green stems again. Another tone added. And then let's get some light onto our rose. Just a bit of light. There we go. And remember what we do, we get a really nice loose wrist and we just sort of do the spiral of the rose round and round. Just the gist. And tiny stars that attach the branches. They're so tiny that you can hardly see it. And then dragging that through like that. And then the juicy, shiny bit. And then it's all about getting marks in there, so scribbling. So you see all these beautiful marks you can see. Just add it in. Just adding in these greens and these spikes. Just enjoying it, feeling it in the shoulder. Scribbling. Doesn't matter, you can't go wrong. I can't wait to see what you've all done. Feel free to DM me or tag me or whatever you like. Love to see it. Keep getting those brighter colours out as well. Don't be afraid because you can't see them not to use them. I'm gonna add some yellows in there. Deep purples. We've got to add the freesias. I'll add those in on top in a minute. Let's get that lighter colour in here. Bring a pinky purple down here. Feel like we need a deeper colour going around our berries. So I'm just going to add a bit of a colour on top. Maybe I'll add a few more berries over the stems like this. And while I've got the red in my hand, I'm pulling around the rose. My rose went a bit muddy somewhere over the rainbow. Not to worry, when that dries, you can always add on more colour afterwards. And really just pulling through that green. Then I'm going to have to find a way of adding in the freesias now. So slightly ignored them. Oh, gonna have to mix a purple or add a purple on top, or you can just ignore them completely. Might ignore them. Might do some sort of wiggly lines. That's what I'll do. I'll do wiggly lines. So I'm just doing the outline of the freesias. When a really top gallery came to see me and look at my work, they were saying that it's the mark making that can often make a piece, sort of the enjoyment of the mark making. So don't be shy to just go wild with your marks. And hopefully you've now got an array of joyful flowers and marks and everything, and you're totally warmed up and you'll carry on painting your flowers or my flowers, and you just keep in the spirit of it. Remember, you can't get it wrong. You can only have fun, and you can make a lot of Christmas cards with everything you've done. And I just want to say a big thank you for go bigger. In fact, go bigger. Go and buy big canvases and do what we just did, but do it huge. I'm here, I'm backing you all the way, and just thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for trusting me.
Thanks, Emily. It was fun. Thanks. Great job.
Message me anytime, any of you. Lots of love. Bye.